Here we are. Hello everyone.
Right.
Hello everyone. Hello Onyeka. How you doing?
I am fine, thank you. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for joining this program for Web3 and the first
Mhm.
edition, as you know. And I'm really glad to having you in this world and global panel of French people. And having you is really, really a blessing. So thank you again for accepting this.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So we have a nice session today. So get inspired and start your Web3 journey. And with you, I think that we will cover different points, which will be Web3. What is Web3? But first of all, it will be interesting also to have a view and better knowledge about who is Onyeka. We saw also different challenges when it comes to Web3 industry and how it
Mhm.
works. And yeah, it will be the floor also for you to share your journey, what you are doing, what you are breathing. And I think that will be super, super interesting for beginners who are really interesting about start the career, start the journey into Web3, and they don't have really a work crew. So that will be all the session about. So I'm gonna start with the first question. Who is Onyeka?
Okay, so Onyeka is a Web3 marketer, and I had a background in marketing. Growing up, both my parents were business owners, and I had that experience. I would always go with them to their store, help them get customers, help them market, and that was where I got a lot for marketing from. But I knew I didn't want to do it in the traditional way because I didn't want to have a store. So after school, I studied economics, by the way. After school, I decided to go fully into digital marketing. At the time, when I tried to learn, there wasn't really anybody in my network that I could learn from, and because I really, really just wanted, to be a marketer, be a digital marketer. At the time, I didn't know I wanted to focus on Web3, but I really wanted to learn, what is the foundation of marketing? How does it all work? How do I do this in the online space? So that was what led me to discover, a lot of platforms like Udemy, YouTube, so many platforms like that. I learned for free. And at the time, it wasn't because I didn't want to pay. It was because I didn't have any card that could help me, that could help me with paying for those courses. So I just had to settle for the free courses. And that is why sometimes I feel like I know so many free alternatives to marketing tools because I have done some digging. So yeah, that's basically how I got here, and seeing the challenge with payment, and also seeing how crypto through Web3 was making payment accessible to everybody. I think that was where the love for crypto, came in, and I decided to see how I could use my skills in the Web3 ecosystem. But also, I started a community. If you see here, I have founder creates, and that is because when I noticed
Yeah,
that, yeah, when I was taking these free courses, I noticed that there wasn't any real-time community where I could get answers. So because you were settling for the free things, you didn't have access to the community for the premium students. And I just kind of felt like if there were anybody else who was trying to like learn these things, they would need a community, and I started create. Another thing why I started, another reason was because there wasn't any really open-ended community. So in the ecosystem, we have people who have niche communities. They tell you, okay, women communities for tech, or UI UX community and things like that. And I just felt like I'm such a versatile person. I have a lot of different skills: public speaking, design, um,
yeah,
coaching, all those. I'm like, if there were people like me in this world, they need a space, and that was where Create, came about. And yeah, so far it's been a really interesting journey. I've worked with a couple of projects, some of them local, some of them outside Nigeria. And I've also been able to build Create to a very, I think I would say I'm proud of where we are, even though we are not where we want to be yet. But I was recently doing some sort of analysis. I saw that we've been able to help community members earn over $8,000, in 2 years of
Oh,
running Create. We've also helped a lot of people get jobs, taking a lot of courses, taught so many people. And yeah, that's my journey.
oh, that's really amazing. Just give me 1 second. I'm doing something else. That's really amazing.
All right.
I'm back. Sorry. I got to fix something.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's really amazing. And what you share, your journey, how we studied, and oh, that's really interesting.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you.
so So I think that you also mentioned, by the way, how you heard about the Web3, the crypto through your journey, and all
Mm-hmm.
started with marketing. That's really interesting because I think that marketing is playing a really pivotal place in this industry. Like if people and companies have some products out, it can be launched efficiently on the market. That is marketer.
Mm-hmm.
How it can be
Yes.
communicate efficiently so that people can interact with it. That means also communication and marketing skill. And I think that you gather all this in one, in you, and you are all back. In French, we call people like you like couteau suisse. Like you have so many hats
Hmm.
and do everything. I think that's what
You
you
need
are.
to send. You need to send this name. You need to send this name to me after this session because maybe I'll add it to my LinkedIn bio.
For sure, definitely. I will had it too.
Okay.
So we see
Thank
how
you.
you dive into, and I also noticed that you run some project, you went some things. So the next question is, which project did you run, or are you working on currently? And yes, tell us a bit about it.
Okay, so currently I'm doing two very interesting things. First of all, I am working with QuickPick. QuickPick is a Web3 pad on-demand marketplace for different, I would say for everyday needs because we cut across helping people do deliveries, get groceries, get food, cab hailing, all those things. Pretty interesting, and we're building on the Adera blockchain. So for me, that is one project I have at hand that is like super, super, super interesting. The support from the Adera Foundation has been really, commendable, and we have so much, that we're doing right now just to help Africans. Our focus is on Africa. Help Africans, enjoy seamless deliveries, enjoy having things, on demand when they need them. Right. I know that there are so many other companies who are doing this, right? But one, they're not doing it like us, they're not building on the blockchain. And another thing is we are building beyond just a delivery marketplace. We're building a whole ecosystem where every stakeholder gets to benefit, right? So it's super interesting. If you want to learn more, please make sure to follow QuickPick. You can also check out my LinkedIn profile. So yeah, the next thing is another project. For now, I am going to withhold the name, but it's what we're basically doing is building the BlackRock of crypto. So just the way you have Aladdin, my
Wow,
BlackRock.
really?
Yeah. So just like how
Training.
you have Aladdin,
Yeah.
my BlackRock, that consumes a lot of information, events, data, all those things, and just try to help people make the best investment decisions. That is what we're doing with this project. And it's still pretty early. We are launching like the first version, between now and next month. And I hope that once we are live, I would have so much more to share. But right now, we're just building the ecosystem. And right now, we're doing with this.
Network issue, I think. It's now.
Yes. So where
Okay.
did you stop?
Um,
Where did you stop?
in the last 5 or 10 seconds, I think. Your last words.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just like I said, we're building the BlackRock of crypto, and we have a tool that we're going to um, launch that consumes events, data, information, and just help crypto investors make the best, investment decisions. And that is the second project that I have at hand. We have an airdrop ongoing. We've reached over 8,000 people with this airdrop, and our first product is launching between now and next month. So yeah, once it's live, I would have more to say. But for now, this is this is all that I can say right now. So those are the two things. Those are the two things that I'm doing at the moment.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's a lot. And I guess that for all this, you have a team, right? Who are breathing in the
Yes,
back.
yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
I do.
great. I think that you can share, by the way, in this session, some link in reference that we can share with our audience,
Okay.
and also so that we can have a view on it. And I think it can be also interesting to tell us a bit about the last event you you run. Also, I saw
Oh,
something about NFTs, something like this.
NFTNG. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with event, it's a totally different ball game. So far, I've been on teams that has organized three events so far. The first two is the Borderless event. So Borderless is it's an academy, a not-for-profit academy for tech enthusiasts. So if you're interested in learning any tech skill at all, you go to Borderless, and it's all free, right? We've had over time there has been some partnership collaboration with Algorand, currently Leaks, and some other projects as well, Gitcoin. And the support has been really massive. So the first Borderless event that we held, it was in 2022. We reached over 8,000 plus people with that. So our focus is really on taking this event to not so popular states in Nigeria. And the first has only been held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Those who are from Nigeria would, be very conversant with that. And one of the reasons why we do this is because so many people want to have events or want to have tech organizations, and then they go to Lagos. I'm very sure that you must have heard about Lagos. So
Yeah.
that is, sometimes when we went for the GTEx Africa conference in Nairobi,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw
people kept
this
asking me, "Are you
Morocco.
from
Yeah, yeah.
Lagos?" And we're like, "Nigeria is a whole country. Lagos is just one place.
Yeah,
Lagos is
that's
just
it.
one place, right?" And yeah, we really wanted to bring that publicity to all the not so popular places, and that is why Borderless has only held in Port Harcourt. But this year, I know it's going to be different. We already have there's already so many other locations where borderless community exists, and I expect so much more from the team this year. Also, nft ng was held in Lagos, and the focus was on driving blockchain adoption. We really tried to I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I was a 2%. I was a 2% part, of the entire process. And why I say 2% is because I handled the emails, email marketing for the team. And even though I also shared ideas and all those things, I wouldn't necessarily say that all that credit goes to me, right? There is a whole team behind this amazing event, and it was really, really awesome, reaching over 1 million impressions on X in just 7 days, bringing over more than 1,000 people, 2,000 attendees actually, 2,000 attendees for the program. So it
Wow.
was very interesting. What we tried to do with this was we incorporated, Web3 elements. We had a point campaign. So just the way you have social farming, we
Mm-hmm.
implemented something like that too. We also empowered individuals, some persons who attended the event, with tools that they could use to make their blockchain journey easier. We gave out laptops, MiFi's, a host of other things. And this is the second edition. We're looking forward to the third edition, which would happen next year. And yeah, that's it for NFTNG.
Yeah, that look great. I saw how it have been
Thank
great, the
you.
website, the design. it's really nice and see that is it a
Yeah.
first was the first edition, but maybe I know that in some communities there is already some kind of stuff or events, but it's really
Mm-hmm.
original. And I think that that's definitely that kind of event that we should run in our community
Yeah,
and
I
see.
encourage you to because
Yeah,
one really impressive thing about NFT NG was that we did it for like a whole week. So there were different activities. We just had one break. So it was like we had a football competition. We got crypto enthusiasts to pick teams. We got I'm trying to get like the perfect word. We got some companies, some health organizations to actually partner with
yeah,
us and like provide, first aid, all those things during the event. We had a visit to the orphanage because sometimes these things aren't talked about enough. But those people in these less privileged places, they need awareness of blockchain because blockchain is one tool that can take anybody out of the trenches, any single person, right? Then there was a conference, there was a sponsored dinner. It was a whole experience, and I'm very sure that when you go on X, you would see so many people talking about the event, just sharing what they
definitely.
learned, how exciting it was. So yeah, that's it for now.
you you made it very entertaining so that people can join both learning and playing, and that's the
Yeah.
best thing, because blockchain in the time sometimes it's so complicated for people to get into. So if you have some fun thing like this, it's more easy for them to catch and to connect with this. So really congrats again, and really to say
Yeah.
what you mentioned
Thank you.
when you started talking about it, on the way to one, on the scale to 1 to 10, it's a 10 definitely,
Yeah.
and you're ready to. So I really
Okay.
appreciate.
I'll let you
Maybe,
be the judge of that. I'll just let you be the judge of that.
yeah, great. So I will take a look for this maybe for next year if I can join. Also, that would be a pleasure, and if I can also maybe run something like this in francophone, I think with your help that could be also nice. So I will definitely take some
Okay.
some learning from
No
this.
problem.
Congrats.
I
Yeah.
am open to chat. Yes.
All right, that's great. So let's keep going. Maybe we go back on some project during this session. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So another point that I want that we go through now. Um, what's the more challenging part of this Web3 of your Web3 journey?
Ah, I would say, um, I would say learning. And why I say that is because there are not so many Web3 marketers that you can learn from. Even right now in the world, I haven't seen any Web3 marketer that really makes me go like, wow, I want this person's results, right? But I do know that there are other marketers in the Web2 ecosystem that are so amazing. But in the Web3 ecosystem, there really is none. And then even if there were people who are Web3 marketers, they're not teaching you their secrets. There is also that problem. Nobody's letting you in on what you're doing, right? So over time, what I've resorted to doing is learning on the job, experimenting with different tools. I research a lot. I try to go deep on what other people are doing and see how maybe I can mimic that same process for my own self. So I would say learning is the hardest thing. It's
Mm,
not learning what Web3 is or learning, okay, what are Web3 tools, but actually implementing, like having someone who
yeah.
teaches you, how to implement all these things. I think that is the hardest thing, right now in my Web3 journey. That is the hardest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate. It's more easy to say, but difficult and really hard to take action sometimes to see things, because there is a lot of things that can be abstract, something like this in our
Mhm.
mind. When it comes to reality and get infrastructures and make things, it can be tough. And also, you say it so right. We have people really ahead in this industry, but sometimes not all of them are open-minded sometimes to share what they have,
Yeah,
the secret,
yeah.
and to facilitate us to go through this. So it can be really
Mhm.
hard also connect with the right persons, to keep people who can, if I can say, mentor you a little bit sometimes and
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
useful skills. It's really hard. So, but yeah, I think we are here by passion. So driven by passion, you can go through all those
Yeah.
and all,
And
yeah, and I think that.
yeah, yeah, and like I always try to remember like my own journey, and then I put myself in other people's shoes, and I want to give them that same opportunity. So right now I have a training ongoing for Web3 marketing, and trainings are going to start later on in this month, but over 40 people already have registered. And I do know so many people on LinkedIn, they say, oh, I'm a Web3 marketer, I'm a Web3 marketer. But when you really dig deep, they don't really know what Web3 marketing is. And some of them might have an idea coming from maybe a Web2 marketing background. But then the problem of always guessing. I feel like I'm always guessing. I don't know if this is the right way to do it in the Web3 ecosystem. So I really, really, really try to put myself in other people's shoes, and then just make opportunities available to others. Right. That's like my personal mantra. Every single time
Mhm.
at Create, when I get past a particular level, and I think that this was so difficult for me. What if there are other people out there who this is difficult for? And then I try to make it accessible to more people. So that's really the vision. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really love what you say. I really love actually this mantra. I think that's a state of mind that you shared. Yeah, definitely, and
Yeah.
it works for you. And it's great also to share with people that you can motivate someone. You can bring someone to go and take
Yeah.
action without waiting for someone else, and breathe. And that's perfect. That's a perfect example that you are currently. And I think definitely, and I think that's it's a state, it's a global challenge, the global vision. I mean, in Africa, currently in the region, even in Francophone, we have so many actors, so many people who want to get involved too, but it's sometimes hard and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we are moving in this session, the next point I want that we go through is what is currently your goal or your vision in the blockchain or Web3
Ooh.
industry currently? I
Okay.
know it's heavy, but let's keep it. Let's go.
Like it's on the tip of my tongue. So right now, one of my goals in the Web3 ecosystem, one, I want to be the best Web3 marketer in Africa.
For
Like that
sure.
is the goal.
Black track.
That is the number one goal, right? I want to be there, right? Because I just really think that Africa has a lot of untapped potential, and sometimes there are so many people who don't know what they're doing that get the opportunity to work with global corporations, and then they ruin the African name, right? Other people feel like, oh, I can work with Africans. I can, I recently had a situation like that where I helped people set up, I helped a blockchain protocol set up communities in Rwanda and also in Uganda, right? And then it was time for them to have events, just sort of like to do some publicity, and it turned out that the African communities are being neglected because the guys at the top just feel like, why should we
Mhm,
invest in
mhm.
African community? And
Yeah.
it's so crazy. This is a major blockchain. So you can just imagine if that, I sat back and I was like, whoa, for a whole blockchain to just insist on closing out the African, community, like that is
Yeah.
really, really wild. So for me, I really just want to show people that they are good, skilled people, in Africa that can really give you the results that you want, and you don't have to let maybe one bad experience rob you of all the good people out there. So for me, that's the number one goal: be the best Web3 marketer, in Africa. The next thing is I really want to work with an organization that goes on to raise millions of dollars. It'd be nice to say I
Yeah.
was on this team. I really raised. So yeah, that's the next thing. And lastly, I want to do marketing in such a way that I can come out on LinkedIn tomorrow and say, oh, through our marketing efforts, we have 500,000 users for this project,
Yeah.
1 million users for this. Like this is the dream. So yeah, this
Yeah.
this is my goal.
I really buy. I really buy. That's something that I share totally and definitely. Like I don't know, but you mentioned something great. And remember,
Thank
not
you.
even 2 or 1 day before, we was just chatting on LinkedIn and just commenting
Hmm.
your recent post. I say that Africa is one, so that if we can bridge
Yeah.
something to without barriers. It's true that language can be a barrier, but skills and ideas and vision can be the same.
Hmm.
And together, working together, we can be more strong in the global market. And that's it.
Yeah.
People think here in Africa we don't have talents, we don't have people really ahead on this. But it's totally false. We are currently. And
We really are. We really are. Like Africans, I maybe I've not been to every African country, but let me speak for Nigeria. So Nigerians, there is this drive on the inside. If a Nigerian is in an organization, a good Nigerian is in an organization, right? And then maybe they are hired to just do one thing. When you come to them and say, "Oh, I now need you to do three things," it is just inside a Nigerian. They will just want to say, "Yes, I will do the three things," right? They rarely object. They just want to do the most for you. So you can just imagine if that same drive is all across Africa. Come on,
yeah,
how would you say that African talents are not good enough for you, right? So
yeah,
I think it's something that we need to address on a global scale. Like we
yeah,
really need to put the right people up front to help
yeah.
to help the Western world know that Africans are good people. Africans are multi-talented. Africans are diligent. We do the most. Like we really do the most.
Yeah, yeah, we are currently, we are all the time, and I can relate. I've been working with Nigerian and Ghanaian, and I see how they are involved and so implicated in the organization. And I just want
Yeah.
to make it just a greetings to Olubumi if he's going to Wajis and
Oh, okay.
and all OG, all my guys, Insika, Ben, and all these people I've been working with when I've been in Binance, and also the all the big boss. I
Yeah.
can't hear all the name, but I can see this, and I think that definitely a state of mind that we have to share as leaders, as project breeder, and bring community
Mm-hmm.
into, and that's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
really great.
Okay.
Pamela was to be on the previous panel, but I see Pamela here. Pamela, could you say just
Hi.
hello to the audience if you can?
I think our mic is muted.
Yeah, his mic is mute. Okay, Pamela, you say you have the flow when you want. We sit here. So we are progressing and we are almost finished. I'm afraid of this, but I want to ask also, in your journey, have you ever been faced to some cliche like you are a woman that you can maybe not be able to breathe this, or you have seen maybe some doors being closed just because they saw that is the CEO. She's a woman. She's a lady. It's
Okay.
not gonna work. Have you
Okay.
been?
Oh, okay. So yes, uh, I've seen situations like that. Not for me personally, but I have worked closely with women founders. And I'll give you an instance. When we went to GTEx, when we went to GTEx Africa, we really went there because we wanted to get investors for our project at the time, BitSafe protocol. More on that later. But that was like one of the major reasons why we were there. We wanted to pitch that project to investors. We're successful pitching to investors, but I'll tell you that there was one investor. He said he was an angel investor. Said he was interested in what we're doing. Asked us to meet up for to discuss further. And then the next day we went there. We had a chat, and we are trying to get him to like see the value in our project and in what we were asking for. And he kept saying, "You're Africans, Nigerians, you're women,
Wow.
you're black, right?" And he said, nobody's going to trust you with that amount of money. Like, it was very crazy. Like, it was very, very crazy. Like,
Wow, wow, wow,
so
wow, wow.
personally, I haven't had that experience yet, but I have seen it firsthand, and
Mm.
I think it's total crap, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's people's bias. It doesn't really reflect that, okay, this is who you are, right? So
Hmm.
we don't argue because we know it's their bias, and
Yeah.
whatever is your opinion. It doesn't have any effect on me. But yeah, I've experienced something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely is. I think that it's a free nasty. It's not necessary. I trust it, and I think that people have to understand that people can have a different opinion from you, but in none of case that means that you are bad or you don't deserve this. Sometimes it's more hard to, yeah, to prove it, to hide in this condition. And one time, sometimes when you are alone in these kind of situations, you are feeling really, really worse, really bad. Like, am I am I a bad person? Am I really deserve it? Is it really for me? This, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm on the bad, wrong path. I should quit. I should do something else. And you can quit your project, or well, you are the right way, but you have to be surrounded by good people. But I think that's it. In the industry, there are good and bad people, but you should keep going.
Yeah, I like to say blockchain technology is good technology, but they are bad actors, right? There are definitely people who use it for the wrong things and just try to take advantage of it. You have scammers and all those things, right? But it doesn't take away the ingenious nature of the blockchain, which is that it's good. It's totally there to give people freedom, So yeah, that's it's how life is. Just we
Yeah.
just have to
Yeah.
build ourselves as Africans, especially as women. Speaking to women directly, we just have to build that resilience. For me, I'm super resilient. I don't let anybody's opinion get to me. If it's not my opinion, I really don't care. So yeah, that's the way that we ought to think, right? And we need to stop seeking validation, especially as ladies, because there's so many ladies out there who they may be super good at what they do, but that's innate feeling to always want validation from maybe a teammate, validation from your boss. You need to kill that feeling. You need to let yourself know that you are good. If you weren't good, you wouldn't be hired. You wouldn't be in your position, right? So yeah, this is just me encouraging all the ladies out there. Build resilience. Don't let anybody's opinion weigh you down. You're totally, in short, there is nobody who is more capable for that role than yourself, right? So just own it and do the most. Thank
No,
you.
that's so true. And I'm trying to bounce back
Yes.
on what you are just saying. Like, are you also maybe working with women locally, or building like program specially and centric to women, or it's
Okay.
more it's private,
Um, for now, no, I don't have any women specific programs, but I'll say that in my community, I have a lot of women. I think it's just maybe because I'm a lady, right? But I have a lot of women. I have women in my network, and so many times when I want to do something, run a training, take a course, do this, do that, there are more women to pick from than there are men. So yeah, I don't do
yeah.
anything specifically for women, but
Okay.
yeah, if a lady comes to me and say, "Oh, I want to be better, I want to do this," of course I have
Mhm.
tons of resources that I can share with you. I have communities that I could refer you to. Right, there are many women-specific communities. There is Code Africa. There is Women in DeFi. um, there is okay, women who code closed down, but there are so many other women focused communities out there. I just feel like so many people are doing things for women. What about the guys, right? So that is why I keep my
Yeah.
community open to everyone. That is why I keep my
Yeah.
community open to everyone. But yeah, I do have women more, and I don't. I'm open to it.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
that
Good
is
to know.
it.
Good to know. I think that's definitely good to know. And see, women in this industry, without no cliches, that it's really an open one that everyone can join, everyone can learn, whatever the gender, whatever the
Yes.
race, and things like this. We can understand. We can. Yeah. Thank you for the link. I will share also for the community so that they can take a look on this, and they can
Okay.
contact you also through your different channels. So people and girl,
Let
woman,
me drop my
lady,
link.
yeah, thank you. If you are really interested to dive into Web3 journey and have soft skills, have digital skills, and start your Web3 journey, I think that's the place to be. So we are going to share the different links, all the links that Nika is sharing right now on
Yeah.
the chats. And for people who are going to view again this, that's really awesome. Like your link tree. Oh,
Lucky, I'm having. Thank you.
uh,
I'm having a great time though. It's been an interesting chat.
yeah, definitely. And thank you again for your time and this opportunity also to share with ladies across, yeah, the club, because I know that this session need to be seen and viewed by everyone. We will do
Yeah.
all for this. We will both it. And I think that will be also interesting to having you in another session and share further news that you are working on. And thank you again. Thank you again for what you are building in your community. And yes, I think that will be also the place for me to ask your last word for this session. Because it's
Okay.
already spent.
Okay. So
So
really,
it's over.
okay. So let me start with like the first advice. So every day, one thing that stays with me is keep going. Like it's two words, but it's like my favorite word of all time or favorite sentence of all time. Just keep going. Right? There's always something better. There is always something more ahead. Right? So just keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop to dig, whatever mistakes you've made or look at your past always. Right? Just look towards the future and keep going. Right? That's the first thing. Next thing is if nobody will take a chance on you, take a chance on yourself. Like that is the mindset. Right? If I were waiting for someone to give me an opportunity, maybe Create would not be here today. Maybe a lot of things that I'm doing I wouldn't do today. So if you have something that you think needs to be seen. Don't keep it to yourself. Go out there and do it. People create Instagram account, TikTok account all the time, and they don't even share anything reasonable. Yet you have tons of people following them. So just put yourself out there. Build in public. Don't be scared. Even if you're scared, do it afraid. But yeah, this is basically it. Keep going. Take chances on yourself. Take chances on yourself. Build in public, do it scared if needed. So yeah, these are the four things that I'm going to leave you with today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's best advice, and that's the best ending that we can have from you. We can receive from you. Keep going, and yeah, I think it's good to connect with people like Onyeka and developing. So don't hesitate to contact her. You have link tree so that you can connect with her, May, X, LinkedIn, and whatever Medium, Instagram. So don't hesitate, people.
Yeah.
And we really hope that you really enjoy this session. You will take a look. You will have the record on LinkedIn. You have the record on Afro Web3, the main YouTube channel. You will also have the record on Onyeka different channels. So don't hesitate and connect. Thank you, Onyeka. Thank you for the time. Very nice talking. Joining this first edition of Afro Web3, and we really hope that
Thank
you can
you.
join. another and many more session physically, virtually. We will contact you for having you because you are really energetic now.
Okay.
Again,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right.
And maybe,
Bye. I am leaving the studio now.
yeah, yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone, and thank you, Pamela. Even you didn't have the microphone, but I know that. But thank you again for your time, and we stay connected for everything that's are coming, and stay focused and stay connected. Thank you, everyone. Bye.